the idea of crowdfunding for Bangalore Open Air?
Well, as you know, we've had two good editions of the festival, and I've met at least more than 80 corporates trying to ask them to support heavy metal, and unfortunately, we've had a problem with sponsors coming on board and supporting heavy metal, and we could sustain for 2 years as a company, and unfortunately, to do the third edition, we were in a financial soup. So we still wanted the festival to move ahead, and the only way I think we could move ahead is by doing crowdfunding, and that's the only way. I mean, we did a lot of brainstorming on to see how we can raise funds, try to get probably investors and things like that, but it never worked out. So that's when we said, okay, look, let's reach out to the crowd, because they're going to be the best friends to the festival. Globally, if you look at festivals, today the biggest festivals are so big because they've been supported by the fans. So that's the reason I said, okay, let's ask the people to support us, and that's how we came up with the concept of crowdfunding.
So explain to the fans in a very simple way about how this entire thing is going to work.
See, it's really, really simple. Okay, if the festival budget is going to be $100. Okay, if we achieve 100 rupees over a period of time, the festival happens. And if we don't, if we achieve like 80 rupees out of it, and we are unable to reach our target, the people get the money back. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So with all these packages, you're trying to reward the fans that...
We're actually trying to reward the fans. Reason being, something like this has never been done before. And someone to buy a ticket, up front without knowing what bands are playing and things like that, we should reward them in probably a really good way. So that's when we came up with, merchandise, artist meet and greet and things like that, so that it would make a fan to pick up a ticket much in advance.
We've been hearing rumors and seeing posts on Facebook about a number of bands. We saw the video about Mayhem coming down, and then there were posts about Steven Wilson. Okay. Are all these bands going to come? Or
no, not really, not at all. Well, these are the probable list of bands which might play at the festival. These are not confirmed artists. In fact, I would say probably Mayhem is confirmed, because I had a really long talk with Necro Butcher from Mayhem, and he said to, if you need any kind of help, let us know. We would want to play at Bangalore Open Air. And that's when we got an opportunity to take a video from him. Well, we've been also talking to other bands, not just the 3 to 4 bands which you mentioned online. We've been talking to a lot of bands, basically to see if they can support us with building the festival. So most of the bands have said, okay, unless and until you pay us some money, you can't use our names and things like that. So there are certain bands who've been really positive, and they have said, okay, it's a new market, you're trying to do something, we'll support you. So it's a mixture of everything. So the bands which we mentioned online, they might be there and they might not be there. So tomorrow, if you spoke to me about Steven Wilson. Well, at the moment it looks positive, but tomorrow, if we don't achieve that certain target and at a certain time, we might have a different tour schedule altogether, and we might not have it.
You've been supported by the entire Wacken crew throughout, from the beginning of Bangalore Open Air. So what were their thoughts when you told them about the concept of crowdfunding?
They were pretty excited about the whole concept of crowdfunding, because something like this has never been done before in such a big magnitude. And of course they know what the situation in India is, how difficult it is to raise money. And for them it was a testing ground for them to see how the market in India is going to be, So they said, okay, you want to do it the crowdfunding way, go ahead. We still have your support, and they are still really supportive with what we've been doing, and let's see how it goes.
So were they happy with what they saw with the previous editions of the
They were really impressed. I mean, especially the vice president of Wacken had come down for both the editions, Miriam Hensel, and she was really quite impressed with the way we built it. And the reason why I usually travel abroad is not to chill out, but usually to see how festivals are built, how people work, how we can improve that into our Indian festivals and things like that. And I think we really did a good job by producing a festival on international standards.
One question that a lot of people have been asking is why can't we know which bands we're going to pay for?
It's really simple. You cannot announce a ban unless and until you pay them. Well, it reflects bad onto a band's way to, you announce a ban and the show doesn't happen. So unless and until you do not pay the bands, you are legally not supposed to use the name. So you cannot. So right now we don't have any money to pay the bands and announce the names. The only way we are trying to do is by using our network through our connections to see if there are bands who are ready to support the festival. That's how the whole mayhem thing came across.
So what do you want people to do? What you haven't achieved the target?
Basically, we haven't achieved the target. All I want people to do is to trust in us. Because we are not doing this to make money and probably relax in West Indies or something. We are doing this to build a whole metal community in India, and it's not a joke. It's funding is just a part of it. A lot of other stuff goes into this. Your permissions, your cops, basically it's a nightmare. 1 week before the festival for any promoter in India is always a nightmare because you come across a lot of challenges which you need to come through. So funding is probably the most important thing, but it is a part of the festival. So people have to realize this. People think, okay, we put in money, show might happen, show won't happen, blah 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 blah. But there are a lot more other things which go into this, and that's what I tell people to believe in what they're doing. And I think that's the only way we'll be able to achieve this. I think we've done whatever best possible to go and to reach out to people saying this is what we can do. And at the end of the day, it lies into the hands of the people. That's the whole crowdfunding thing.
From being an organizer who used to come up with these little pub gigs, and today I just happened to notice someone called you the Sultan in the Mecca of metal on Facebook. So ultimately it's a compliment, right? Because that someone is appreciating your work.
Well, I think I don't think so. Well, I don't know. Well, I still do small gigs. I like doing small gigs because it's a good interaction between the fans and the artists, and it's always fun to do small gigs, and it's also very interesting to do large scale gigs too because you get a hands-on experience on how to deal with a massive audience, and it's a personal experience even for you to how to grow ahead in future years as an event organizer.
So do you feel like you've accomplished a lot? Or
No, I don't think so. Whenever I look at a video of the Walk-In Festival, I'll be like, shit, we're talking about 2,000 people here and in India, and you look at the video there, you have 85,000 people standing, and and it's a long journey, and I think it will. India might be there, probably I don't know when, but the reason why I'm doing this right now, the reason why I'm struggling so hard to build this is because I have a strong feeling that probably India somewhere down the lane would be probably as big as what the festivals abroad are.
Now that you set a target for July.
Yeah.
So are you willing to extend that, or have
It
you
depends.
already got
It depends on a lot of factors. Look, if you're going to have the same amount of income through crowdfunding even till the month, then I don't think it makes sense. If we achieve at least, let's say, 40 to 50% by the end of this month, then it makes sense to move ahead a little more. But in fact, it's kind of surprising. Today we funded around 25,000 rupees. Kind of strange, in one day 25,000 rupees. And hopefully, let's see how it goes. I will still have around 3 weeks to go, and the whole Indian mentality of buying things at the last moment is what I'm actually banking on right now. So let's see how it goes. I'm a metalhead just like how you are, and I want to watch those bands which even you want to watch. So if you want to make that happen, do support us and buy tickets up front and keep metal alive in Bangalore. Keep metal alive in India.